Hey, Michael, Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. I hope you're doing well.
I'm good. I'm good. Hope you're good.
Thank you. So you debuted as the number one contender in Bellator's welterweight rankings, but then they actually wound up flipping you and Yaroslav. So I just wanted to know, neither of you fought. So in your opinion, why do you think that was?
That would be a wild guess from me. Obviously something that I did notice. It is what it is. I don't know. They say it's obviously it's an impartial. I guess they keep every time there's an event, they can keep kind of sitting back at the table and then rediscuss what they had previously discussed. But I don't see why something like that would change, seeing as neither one of us have been active. I don't know. It's like I said, it's your guess is as good as mine.
Fair enough. Well, best of luck on Friday.
Thank you so much.
Breeze, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, this is Breeze with the MMA Breeze. I just wanted to ask, you obviously have created a lot of highlight reels for us. How are you looking to finish this next bout, and how would it be turn out ideally in your mind?
Ideally, it'd be the fastest knockout in Bellator history. I don't get paid for overtime, so I want to go in there and just finish the job real quick. I'm gonna fight with a slightly different intensity level for this fight. I do want to get in there and just I want it to be a bank robbery, in and out, a quick job. So for me, it's all about what comes afterwards. I want to stay fresh, stay fit, and then just get straight back in again after this fight.
Gareth?
Good evening, Michael from London. How are you?
I'm good, Gareth. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, thank you. Interestingly, you use the analogy of you want to get a bank robbery, obviously without anyone seeing you, like a ghost, get in and out, and he's asleep. Is having been there with you at your last fight, do you think that you didn't explode enough in your last fight, and you weren't as aggressive as you normally are? Is that the reason for that?
No, not at all. It's more based on the opponent I have in Derek Anderson for my wanted to doctor my style slightly. But in the last fight, I wish I could have exploded. I wish I could have shown you guys a lot more. But as I said, the canvas was extremely slippery. It's actually something I'm skeptical of with this fight. As the last Bellator, when I was watching, near enough every athlete that did a head kick fell on the floor. Their back leg slipped away. So it's something that I'm cautious of for this one, and I actually taken precautions during training. We actually had to make our canvas slippery and doctor my style to see if I can kind of cope and adjust and still be MVP. I've made those adjustments just in case, but hopefully I go in there and the canvas is nowhere near as slippery as as it was, and I can actually be myself.
Are you ever allowed to go in and put your feet on I know it's COVID, so you're probably not at the moment, but generally, are you allowed to go and test the canvas before you fight?
Yeah, of course, but it differs. So you can go in there beforehand when it's dry and nothing's happened, no one's cleaned it or they've cleaned it prior. But when there's bodies and there's sweat and people have been rolling all around it, and then they spray it again to clean it and so on and so forth, it gets, sometimes there's just random patches where that it just feels like an ice rink in there. And like I said, it was the main card that I watched. So I'm assuming, again, from the bodies and the people that were in there prior, that's the reason why people are falling over and slipping still. But there is definitely something that they're doing. I mentioned this years and years ago, I think when I fought Nashon Burrell. And because again, I couldn't explode as well as I would have liked to in that fight. And I think it was probably about a year later that one of the Bellator staff members actually said they went into the cage and they realized, it was something that they were spraying on the canvas, and that's why it was slippery. But it took them ages for it to kick in. So I feel like it would probably be the same thing, regardless of me saying these things and regardless of the evidence there of people slipping. And I think it's just a bad look on, for their own athletes. I feel like they should try to, you want your athletes to look the best they possibly can. So this is something that they should look into.
Not completely overlooking Derek Anderson, because obviously everybody's a competitor in there. Will you be looking to be calling out to fight the winner of Douglas Lima and Amosov if you get through this on Friday night?
honestly, I've switched off. I don't care anymore. I've been calling him out ever since my fight with him. Obviously, I'm not entitled to have it straight away. Fair enough. But I've been very active, and he's had, 2 fights? This being his 3rd fight. I've had 4 or 5 fights. I don't even know. So yeah, I don't believe he's in any rush to be back in the cage with me. So my job is to just stay active. I couldn't care less anymore. I just want to win this fight. Whoever's available next, Bellator line them up, and I jump in back as soon as possible.
Finally, Michael, what is it? I mean, I think you were on the BBC the other day. Was it Match of the Day?
Yeah, Match of the Day Extra. Yeah.
Just to explain to anyone listening in America, obviously Match of the Day is the biggest soccer show in the UK. What does it mean to you that mixed martial arts, Bellator, yourself, are now live on the BBC iPlayer, which is free and available to 70 million homes live?
It's amazing, especially for the UK, the Europe. I think it's unbelievable. Even had they posted out one of my teammates, Norbert Naveni, and it's just good to see, like, for him, up and comer is definitely going to be taking that middleweight division by storm. It's just great to have that kind of platform to be pushed on, where we never had that before. When I first came in, we didn't have those kind of things, especially in the UK. It's mainly for the States. I just hope that this partnership stays. Again, we've seen a lot of partnerships with Bellator come and then go, and I'm hoping I think this is a great partnership, especially Showtime as well. I think they can do a lot in this with these 2 partnerships, and hopefully, it stays.
Donald?
Hi, Michael. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the service. I'm sure you're obviously a big boxing fan as well, and this has been a big talking point this week with Billy Joe Saunders. He was asking for assurances on the size of the ring. This is a little bit different, is the issue that you have with Bellator. But did you ask the promotion for assurances that there would be a fix to that problem? Because stylistically, you of all people are the one who would suffer the most from having a slippery canvas. And actually, someone like Derek, weirdly enough, might actually benefit from having that sort of little advantage, you would say. Did you talk to people in the promotion, people in the matchmaking side, and say, we need to sort out this issue with the canvases? Because I did notice those issues with the people you mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's I've indirectly had these kind of conversations. Hopefully, now that I'm here, I can actually speak to them directly. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a fix for this event, which is why I took the precautions, that I have with my teammates and my coaches. I actually feel it's ridiculous that I even have to do things like that, making my own canvas slippery, which is incredibly dangerous, by the way. But yeah, it's my coaches have reached out, management has reached out, and again, I feel like it falls on deaf ears sometimes, and this is some of the issues that I've had in the past. So hopefully, now that I'm here, once it's all said and done and I've finished the fight, I can sit down with the people that can actually make these kind of decisions, and we can actually get things changed. Because as you say, for my style especially, it just does not help. And I love putting on a show. I genuinely cannot do, as you saw in my last fight, I turned into an everyday MMA fighter. My guard was up. I was plodding around the place.
Mm-hmm.
I still managed to find the win, as you do. That's my mentality. You got to figure it out. But I would prefer to fight with all my tools intact, being able to utilize them all.
This is your first time back in the States since that fight with Douglas Lima, although atmosphere-wise, it's probably going to be more like you're fighting in Japan, I would imagine, because there's no fans in the building. I've watched a lot of your interviews recently. You were on the Energized show the other day. You were on you had a big long interview on your own YouTube channel. I suppose it's worth asking point blank, straight up, are you happy with Bellator?
At present, no. But it's not something that can't be rectified. Like I said, I'm happy to have a conversation. And, I deal with. I'm very forward, and I'm very honestly speaking. So, there's been numerous amount of issues that I've kind of seen on Bellator that I'm not happy with. But I genuinely believe, and I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, I genuinely believe it's because I'm a fan of Bellator. You know, I feel take myself out of Bellator, whether I'm a competitor here or not. I genuinely believed in that show, in the organization, in what they're doing, what Scott Coker has been doing up until recent times. This is why things are kind of being a bit more irritable. So again, these things can be changed very quickly with just a simple conversation. We sit down, have a conversation, even if it's just a case of just me getting it off my chest to these people, and then just moving forward. But I like the staff here and everybody that are here in the back office that you guys don't see, you probably all know, but you don't see like on camera. They're all amazing. They're all great. They look after us really well. But then it's just certain things that I see for the promotion that I feel like they could just be better.
Damon Martin. Damon, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, in terms of what you're talking about, like your complaints, things that are going on with Bellator, can you get a little bit more specific in terms of the promotion side? Is it just you personally, or is it the organization as a whole as what you're seeing right now?
Yeah, I feel it's the organization as a whole. Again, I'd prefer to have the conversation with Bellator first. Again, I've already kind of said my piece in my, a few interviews that I've had. I prefer to have a conversation now that I'm here. Have a conversation with the guys at Bellator, and then from there, if I still feel away, you'll definitely hear about it. Because like I said, I'll say it how I feel it, and that's always been me. Most of the time, I've been happy because everything's been going really well. But a few things I've noticed for just the promotion, not just personally, but just for multiple different for competitors and athletes that are on our show. So yeah, I want to just kind of air that out with them.
Obviously, throughout your career, Michael, you've always gone out there and fought, but because of who you are, the name you've built, you're always a kind of a target of criticism. People saying, well, he doesn't fight the top competition, or he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. You talked about the title. You've kind of put that out of your mind and you're just out there fighting. Is it kind of the same way with the critics? Do you even pay attention to that kind of stuff anymore?
Oh, no, not at all. Everyone's a bit repetitive. It's a bit of a broken record. They're saying exactly the same thing, so there's nothing to really pay attention to anymore. There's nothing creative about what anybody's saying, and a lot of the times it's usually very average fans that only know a few people. I've seen comments like, "Oh yeah, you're fighting Cans, well you should be fighting Conor McGregor," and it's like, well, I already know you don't watch the sport well enough to know that we're not in the same weight division, although he does come out, and we're not in the same show. So again, it's a lot of these kind of people that will flood your page, but it doesn't bother me at all. I enjoy what I do. I get to do what I do for a living. I get to train with some amazing people, coached by some of the best people that I've could ever coach in the world, and I'm just enjoying life. It does not bother me at all.
And last one for me, Michael, you're a guy who has crossed over. You've done boxing. I think we talked before your last boxing bout. You've seen lately the hype around MMA fighters crossing over into boxing, this whole Jake Paul thing. I want to get your opinion on that as a guy who actually has done boxing and actually has found success in boxing. What do you think about all the MMA fighters either talking about? Do you feel like it's just a big payday thing, or would you like to see, like, in terms of the opportunity of guys crossing over and getting paid, like, because you're a guy who's actually done it and done it successfully?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely for the most part of recent, especially the more high profile fights, it's definitely a big payday. The likes of Jake Paul, Logan Paul, they bring a massive audience wherever they go. Doesn't matter what they could talk about doing entering a breakdance competition, and you'll see a lot of people watching and tuning into breakdance. That's just what you have to give them props in terms of the fan base that they have created. And again, now that everyone's kind of interested in combat, which is technically good, it's a good deal for a lot of up and coming athletes. They could be headlining on a show, and you have credible athletes underneath them that will now be seen by a lot of new fans, and it's great for them. And like I said, it is definitely a payday. In terms of like the opponents that are going over to fight, that's a different question. I feel like there could be better opponents, a bit more. I find there's a lot more MMA fighters that are better at boxing that could be going over and doing the same thing, but maybe not have the same, maybe not make the same noise, or again, because it's all about numbers. So we'll see. Hopefully, you'll see a few more credible MMA fighters that are actually good with their stand-up as well, that can go over and actually make an actual impact.
Giancarlo.
Hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well. This fight is a catchweight bout, and we also saw like Paul Daly and Smail Masi fight in their catchweight bout. Are these kind of fights appealing to you, or would you be even open to moving up to a middleweight in the future?
Maybe in future. I'm happy down here now. I'm just glad I get paid enough money to pay my opponent to just shut up and take whatever weight that I want.
And final one for me, assuming you're able to get past in this fight, get the win, and Scott Coker were to sit down with you and offer you the title shot against the winner of Amosov and Lima, how do you see that fight playing out?
That fight? You say that their fight playing out? Or
their fight.
Yeah. So their fight, you know what? Amosov, as everybody's seen, is an amazing athlete, man. He's very well-rounded, great stand-up, great, great takedowns, great takedown defense, as we've seen with the Logan Storley fight as well. It's a difficult one. I feel like he's a bit too undersized for Lima. I feel like he's going to struggle to take Lima down. Again, due to the size and Lima's strength, and because of the height difference, he's going to have to be a bit more in the pocket, which means he's going to be liable for those leg kicks as well. I think if he does get Lima down, Lima's got an amazing butterfly that he's caught everybody bar Rory McDonald with. So keeping him on the floor is going to be difficult. So in my opinion, I think it goes more to it sways more in Lima's favor. But it doesn't take anything away from Amosov. I think I genuinely believe he's a great mixed martial artist altogether.
All right, last one here, Nick.
Hey, Michael. Considering all that you've done in Bellator, you've been in the promotion for about 7 years. I believe you have a 14-1 record in Bellator. Is it kind of surprising that you have yet to fight for the Bellator welterweight title?
Yes, definitely. It is what it is. My journey is my journey. It's gone the way it's gone. There's been chances. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, even just being in the tournament, it was because I lost. I had a chance to win the tournament and actually fight for the belt as well. I was one fight away from that. It is what it is. Everyone kind of falls on whatever path they fall on, but hopefully that will turn around. In fact, that definitely will turn around this year.
And I know you said earlier you're not too worried about getting the winner between Lima and Amosov. If it happens, it happens. But you're not going to get on the mic and call for that. But do you expect that to happen? Because you're ranked number 2. They're ranked, obviously, the only 2 fighters above you in the division. Is there any other option if you get past Derek Anderson?
Well, yeah, there's definitely options. Like I said, everyone's got numbers next to their names now. If Lima does take too long to want to defend that title again, then Jason Jackson's there. If Amosov has just lost the fight, then Amosov is there. There's loads of people. There's loads of guys that are still in the division that are all heading in the same direction, chasing that title, and that are great fights. So I just want to stay active and stay busy.
Thanks for the time, Michael. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.